As I spotted the November parish magazine in the window of the village shop, I remembered the December issue's deadline for my Travels with My Aunt's Garden column. I was planning something Christmassy about her trio of fir trees. The December issue would also advertise the nativity play I was writing for the Wendlebury Players and the village primary school children to perform together, along with a live donkey. A good audience was guaranteed for my debut as a playwright. What could possibly go wrong? My post-Hector smile turned to a puzzled frown as I reached the brow of the hill and my cottage came into view. Outside stood a white van. Just like Damien's, I thought. Just like the one he had converted into a camper van for his travelling English-language theatre company. The sight still brought back bitter memories. I'd been subsidising the costs of Damien's van for 4 years before we parted. Surely this couldn't be Damien's van. It was probably a tradesman's. My elderly next-door neighbour, Joshua, must be having a domestic emergency. If so, he'd done well to get someone to come out to attend to it first thing on a Sunday morning. What a coincidence, I thought, drawing closer. The back door was covered with European flag stickers, as was Damien's. Maybe it was a Polish plumber, or one who used his van for his European holidays. Unlikely, however, that his business might also be called Damien Dramaticus, which was emblazoned down the van's side. Nerves jangling, I broke into a run. As I crossed the road to my front gate, the van's near-side door slid open and a dishevelled figure with shaggy blonde hair jumped down onto the curb. "Where the hell have you been?" Damien clearly hadn't been to charm school since I'd left him. A number of combative responses sprang to mind. "None of your business?" "What's it to do with you?" And "In bed with my new boyfriend who brought me breakfast on a tray, which you never did once in 7 years together." But his aggression couldn't diminish my post-Hector glow. "Hello, Damien," I said calmly, though my heart was racing, and not in the way it did when I spotted Hector on arrival at work. "What brings you here?" If he'd come to tell me he loved me after all, he was too late. The vacancy for boyfriend had been filled. Though, truth to tell, Hector and I were still at the probation stage, with the option of notice on either side, should the position not suit. Damien's answer caught me out. "Work." "You told me when I left you that there'd be zero employment in a little village like Wendlebury Barrow." That was one of the many reasons he'd dreamed up for me to stay with him. He'd also wanted me to sell the cottage and buy him a new van with the proceeds. "Ah, but I've found the perfect vacancy. Director of the local theatre group." "You mean you're bringing Damien Dramaticus to Wendlebury?" I glanced at the van, fearing the rest of his dreadful company might be about to spring out. "No, just me. Damien Dramaticus is resting. We've no more bookings till spring." "But the nearest theatres are miles away. Where will you be working? Bristol? Bath? Cheltenham?" He permitted himself a satisfied smile. "No, guess again." I looked once more at the van, wondering whether a new girlfriend might be lurking in the back listening in. "But you're definitely on your own?" A new girlfriend would have been fine by me. "Yup." I shivered, my previous glow now dispersing like the morning mist. "Then I suppose you'd better come in and tell me your plans." I fumbled in my pocket for my door key. He grinned and patted my shoulder patronisingly. "I thought you'd never ask." Chapter 3. New Directions. As I turned to close the front door behind us, Hector sailed past in his Land Rover, head turned as if hoping to spot me. When he saw Damien's van, he almost crashed into it. Too late for him to see, I blew him a wistful kiss. I led Damien through to the kitchen. "So, tell me the truth now." I took the kettle to the sink and turned on the tap to fill it. "Have you really got a local job, or are you on the run from something?" He pulled out a chair and sat down at the kitchen table. "What? You mean like a murder? Or a bank robbery?" As I slammed the kettle onto its base, a sharp rap